By the time I finished my A levels, things had changed at home financially. My father got caught up in those political coups. I had to leave Accra and move to Kumasi to set up Love FM. So I was one of the first female radio sales executives when radio started. Ghanaian music is really growing at a very fast pace. At that time, we were far ahead of the Nigerian industry.
So that means Charterhouse started with Ghana Music Awards.
Yes, Burna Boy was on the rise and he was supposed to have attended and he wasn't able to make the flight. That was the first time an artist had built out on us. Our 20th anniversary edition where we had the altercation on stage. I mean, what the things that we do in the creative space are really for the culture. I look around me in Ghana, Africa, and all I see is opportunities.
You need to move as an industry.
Not be bigger than your industry. You hear somebody say, it's good though, but the only challenge is, as long as you hear challenge, that's opportunity. I've been on my own. I've been independent since the age of 18. Self-discovery is the most important thing. A lot of the things I envisioned for myself have come to pass. You've even defeated yourself before you started.
Yeah.
So we go through all of those. And that's where the mastermind, the mind mastery
exactly
has to come in.
Welcome to the Masterminds Podcast. Over here, our mission always stays the same: to help you to shape your most powerful tool, your mind. My name is Richie Mensah, and I'll be your guide on this exciting journey. Now, today we're going to have an excellent conversation because I am honored to be sitting here with one of the most respected individuals in our country when it comes to excellence, comes to creativity. Now, not from only what she has led her entire team to do over and over again for so many years. She's a decorated soldier and general, but also for her decorum, for the way she composes herself, the way she commands respect, but still is able to lead with a soft and beautiful touch. So I am honored to be sitting here with Theresa Ayoade.
Hi, Richie. It's an honor to also be part of your podcast. I've seen all the great things that you also do. You're also a young person I really admire.
Thank you. Thank you so
your
much.
bravery in venturing into the space, as you know, it's not an easy space to be
at all.
But I also appreciate your tenacity and your desire to really make something substantial out of it.
Thank you so much. I feel so honored because I know you wouldn't do this with most people. So the fact that you agreed to come, even when I was asking you, I was shy. I was like, she will say no, but
no.
I'm so glad that you're sitting here.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here as well.
And I think my favorite part about this conversation is there are a lot of young creatives out there who need to benefit and understand for some of these conversations. I keep saying that, like, I've met a lot of great people in this industry, and then I've met a lot of people who don't know what it takes to make it in the creative industry. And I keep wondering, how do we bridge that gap? So just a conversation like this from that young creative sitting there could take them, miles ahead in their career. So let's jump right into it.
Great, ready for you.
Okay. But first I want to talk about a part of you most people don't know. They all know you as a CEO of Charterhouse, but most people don't know your career in multimedia before Charterhouse. Let's talk about that first. What was it like being in radio and TV?
It was very interesting. My sojourn in radio and TV, in radio particularly, was at the time when private radio had just been licensed.
Okay.
So, prior to that, we only had state-owned media houses, GBC and the whole range of GBC stations. And so Joy FM, which was under Multimedia Broadcasting, was one of the first, private radio station to be officially licensed to operate. So we were a bunch of young, eager people who were just interested in just showing what we could do.
Okay.
Really, there was nothing before us to watch and observe.
There was no template to just...
and we wanted to be different
Yeah.
From what already existed. So the onus was on us to lead the innovation, to drive the innovation and the creativity that would really make the impact.
Okay.
So I joined Multimedia in 1996, which was about 6 months after they had started. I think they started in 95,
Okay.
around July or so. in 95 or maybe a year after or something like that. I know it was January 96 I joined.
Okay.
And I wanted to be on radio as a presenter.
Oh, okay.
So my first interview with Kwetichum, the owner, was that I wanted to be an on-air personality. But at that time, at the very early stages of radio, there was nothing like on-air personality. It was about DJs.
Okay. Yeah,
So
they just played
either
the
you just want to
music.
come in and play music, and
Yeah.
music was what drove the content. So I said to him that I'm not a music person, but I want to have interviews. I want to talk to people. I want to get to know people, you know, I want to
Okay.
discuss issues. But I think I was ahead of my time. So
Right now, I'm trying to imagine you as a presenter. That would have
yeah,
been a thing.
no, because I wanted to have conversations and chats, not to play music.
Yeah.
But at that time, and radio was written by music, so they said, okay. Once I said I didn't want to play music, they tried to now box me into, okay, then maybe you could do newscasting or reading announcements.
Because those were the two options.
Yeah,
either
you're playing music or you're reading the news.
Yeah.
So they tried me with the news reading, with announcements, and they said no, I wasn't cutting it in that space. So I said, okay. Then he said, but why don't you try your hands at sales? And I was like, radio sales, okay. And so I was a little hesitant because I hadn't done it before, but I had done retail sales. I'd just come in from the UK, and I was working in retail, then the Gap store, etc. So I had an idea of retail. So he said, since you've done retail, why don't you try sales? So he gave me a whole pile of books to go and read about radio sales. And I went home, read all through the night. And it sounded really exciting. And it sounded like I could make some good bucks from that as well.
There, yeah.
So I went back and said, great, I'll take it up. And so I was one of the first female radio sales executives when radio started.
Nice.
So when I joined the team, there were mainly males. I think there was one other female firstly, but she, about a few months after, moved into traffic.
Okay.
So I was the only female in there for years.
Wow.
Yeah, I think till I probably left. I think I must have been the only female full of males. So we went out there selling the good news of radio.
Nice.
You know, to anybody who would listen. And we're also well equipped. Those days there was this Tico
I remember the Tico car
that had just come in, and we're one of the few people who had them, you know, driving around town. So it was quite a cool thing to see these young people driving around in these Ticos, branded Joy FM, you know, going around doing radio sales. So it was a very exciting time to be in radio.
Wow.
And we did our best. We sold, you know, and we did interesting activations as well. I mean, radio wasn't just about selling the spot advertising. It was about creating content to encourage people to listen to radio throughout the day. So we had terms like do activities that would increase time spent listening, TSL. That would create top of mind awareness, TOMA. You know, so we had all these terms that we were using to drive content and activities. And we also went on a lot of training. I remember we went to National Association of Broadcasters Convention in Las Vegas, and where we got to, you know, mingle with the who's who of radio, and we did a lot of radio syndication programs, etc. It was a very interesting and exciting time. We were the it people, you know.
All this built you up. It's very nice to hear this. I think most people only know the latter part of your journey, so they don't know you came from this.
Oh yes, so I did Joy FM. Rose through the ranks from sales executive to senior sales executive, and then the opportunity came for the opening of Love FM.
Okay.
So I was approached by Visichum again, my boss, and said, listen, I want you to go to Kumasi with the general manager to set up Love FM.
Okay.
So I had to leave Accra and move to Kumasi to set up Love FM.
Wow.
So we set up Love FM, myself and the general manager.
Okay.
We recruited all the local talents, and we basically, our mandate was to sell an English station in Kumasi.
Not easy.
A tree-speaking town.
Yeah.
Sell an English station, you know. So, we went there, we recruited, and we started going from door to door, selling the station. And we decided to go the path of events.
Okay.
You know, so we used our leverage of Joy FM in Accra to attract musicians to come to Kumasi to organize big shows and concerts. So that's how we really
made Love
got
FM
in,
popular.
made inroads, and also attract the people who would appreciate what we were offering. So I was in Kumasi for about a year and a half.
Nice.
We did great, big, bold, wonderful things. And by the time I was leaving, Love FM had been well established and was one of the number one English speaking station in Kumasi.
So how were you able to leave? You know, a lot of people right now talk about the fact that the only way to really succeed is to start or be part of starting a business. But it's a very difficult transition from a safe, secure job, getting a salary, to starting something which is 100% risk.
And I tell you that, I mean, all of these things I was doing, I think by the time I left Kumasi to come to Accra, I was 25.
Oh,
so
wow.
I was doing all
Very
of these things
young.
from the age of 23. From 22, 23, 24. By 24, I was heading Kumasi.
Nice.
Love FM, yeah. And by the time I did my stunt and came down, I was about 25. And I got married around 26.
So that means you're a risk taker from all that time.
I'd lived a whole life before that. And don't forget, I said before that I was in the UK, I was working.
Yeah.
So from the age of 18, I tell people that I've been on my own. I've been independent at the age of 18 in terms of every single aspect of myself, where I would live, what I would eat, my transport, my movement. Since the age of 18, I've been completely independent.
I mean, you lived more than some 40-year-olds
Oh,
at the age of 25.
yes. It's been a long road.
Wow.
And it's been a very independence building journey.
Okay.
So I've been used to charting my own path.
Okay.
Figuring out things, making my own choices and decisions. I've been in control of that. Once I got to the self-realization, that my life is what I designed it to be.
Yeah, I love that.
So I envisioned it, and I said, this is the kind of life I want to live, and no one can get it for me except myself, and I can work for it. So that was it. So I didn't play with my work.
I love that.
I was very serious with my work, and my bosses saw that. So that's why they kept promoting me.
Yeah.
When the opportunities came, I was the one they always called to move forward. And I tell you, by the time I left, I'm a very systems and process-led person. So by the time I left Kumasi to come to Accra, I had set the whole foundation running, and I was able to create succession for those somebody had trained to step up and take up the role and continue to run the station. And so it was amazing. I came back to Accra to set up the promotions desk.
Okay.
So I said to my boss that, when you are that good, you can negotiate your terms. So I said to my boss, I have to come back to Accra, because then I had met this handsome young man who was worrying me that if you continue to stay in that Kumasi, you will continue to be girlfriend and boyfriend, so till you head back to Accra for us to really start settling down.
Yeah.
So I had to take that decision to I've done it in Kumasi, I've got to go back to Accra and see what's next. So I spoke to my boss then that I have to go back to Accra, settle down, the young man has proposed, and, I don't think we can do a long distance relationship. Besides, I've done what I came to do in Kumasi. So I'd like to go back to Accra, but this time around, I want to do promotions.
Okay.
Because I'd seen how that had worked in Kumasi, creating excitement, creating content, building that experience for people. People remember experiences, So I came to introduce that in Accra as well.
Okay.
Accra was doing it, but they didn't have a special unit for it. So it was part of the sales activity and radio programming. But I came now and we set up a desk called the promotion. So I came back as a promotions manager.
Okay.
And our job was to create excitement on the station and keep people engaged and interested in wanting to listen. So
that means a lot of these Joy FM events and stuff.
Was started from the promotions desk
Interesting.
at Joy FM. Yeah, so we started coming up with great ideas, and we worked together with the programming department to come up with great ideas. But we moved from just on-air excitement to live event experiences. We did great things. We did took families to Disneyland. We gave a whole life. We had a promotion called Get a Life promotion, where we gave away a whole life, like a house, a car, and the house was fully furnished with everything. You just basically
Please,
just
can you
walked
redo
in.
that promotion and give me a house, a car?
So can you imagine coordinating something like that? You had to go around, speak to a real estate developer, get a car company, interior decorator company, appliances, everything, woodwork, carpentry. We had to basically do everything from A to Z. And we handed it over to one listener. One faithful listener.
This means that everything you did there sort of prepared you for the journey of Charterhouse.
Definitely.
So is that how it was easy to transition into starting Charterhouse?
Yes, because while at Joy FM, I had built the network with Corporate Ghana.
Okay.
I was the account manager for it was called Ghana Breweries Limited, GBL, and Unilever, and all of them. So I had built all those corporate relationships. And so when it was time to move on, those were relationships I leveraged on to sponsor some of our new events that were coming up. Okay. And that's how we got going. And apart from that also, because I had already been in the driving seat of conceptualizing, putting together proposals, going out there, marketing ideas, talking to people, convincing them, and then also being out there in the field, actually executing and getting these activities to happen, I was already in that space.
Okay.
And my husband then was running a company called Multiple Concepts. Okay. And they also had created a platform called Agro, which was a platform for Western Union that was being used to promote Western Union across the country. Okay. And that platform involved musicians and a game show, etc. So they were doing full-scale audiovisual production, and plus live events, because apart from it being a TV show, it was also a road show. So we're going around the country and all of that. So we just kind of had a conversation around doing something for the music industry, which surprisingly came out of a backstage conversation held between Ochiame Kwame and Lord Kenya during Agro.
Okay.
So he came back home one day and he said, I went to Agro, and during the production, these two artists were arguing backstage about who was the most popular.
Oh, yeah. The Achiame Kwame versus Lord Kenya.
Achiame.
Yeah,
Achiame at that time. And Lord Kenya. So he was just watching them and just what the argument going on and on. And so if I go out there, you see the fans that I'll have. I'll have more fans than you. So we watched all of that. He came in and said, I think Ghanaian music is really growing at a very fast pace. At that time, we were far ahead of the Nigerian industry. Yeah. Our hip life had really taken off. Yeah. So he was like, I think there's a really good thing going on in the Ghanaian music industry and the way the musicians or whatever. So I think we should create something like, like the Grammys, like the Ghana Music Award, something like that. So we came up with a name, and then we're like, wow, okay, let's go with it. Okay. So at that point, I went to my bosses and said, okay, I think I've done my bit. I want to move on. So I left the company to join my husband, basically at almost like 1/3 of the salary I was earning. It was a big sacrifice,
How did your family and friends see that? Because it's like leaving something very stable.
Yeah, in a career that was on the rise, Well, I think I was excited about the opportunity of creating something new. Okay. And something that had the potential to really be big. So that was really what was driving me. And I've always told, my mindset has always been that whatever you think you can do. So once we thought that this was something that was really going to be huge, okay, let's do it. Okay. So that's always been me.
So that means Charterhouse started with Ghana Music Awards.
Yes, Charterhouse started with Ghana, but prior to that, we had Multiple Concepts, which was already running.
Yeah, I remember Agro.
Agro also tried. Yes. It was already running, going all around the country, promoting Western Union. They had already done so much, gone to Europe. They had done a Europe tour and all of that. So Charterhouse was created to build content for the creative industry. Okay. So that was so we set up a new company. I came in.
So Multiple Concepts was more for the corporate.
It was advertising.
Okay.
It was an advertising agency. Okay. Advertising and production.
Okay. And then Charterhouse
came in for events, just to create to be like cultural curators. Yeah, and creators. Okay. Yeah.
So what was it like in the early days, taking this big risk? You're organizing an event for an industry which wasn't even well formed. What was it like in that time?
Oh my God, it was very challenging. I mean, the good thing was because we were doing Agro already, which was like the biggest platform for most of the artists to get to tour the country. Yeah. There was no other vehicle. So as soon as you released your music,
You have
the
to
next
come
thing
on
you did was to get onto Agro.
Yeah.
Because, and if you're able to get onto Agro for a series of shows,
Mm-hmm.
that means at no cost to you, really,
Yeah.
you were being taken across the country.
Yeah. And coming on TV over
coming
and
on
over
TV
again.
over and over. So you would go to Konongo, and we were being invited to all the festivals.
Okay.
So as soon as there's a festival, there's an Agro as part of the program.
Yeah.
Whole weeks, Agro was part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So we were already scheduled, and it was like it had a tour lined up already for the year. So as soon as you plugged into it, we took you on tour. So that was really one of the touring vehicles for the musicians. So we had already, through that, built that relationship. We already had an A&R coordinator who was working with musicians all the time.
You had an A&R coordinator at that time?
At that time, yes. We had someone who was in charge of booking the artists and, working with them on what they were going to play and all that. Mm-hmm. So we already had that going. So it was easy to just leverage on that relationship that we had already built. Yeah. And for us, it has always been about leveraging on the relationships we've already built with the artist. So then we now had to sell the idea of the Ghana Music Awards. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't easy.
Yes, I really want to know. I'm trying to be an artist in those days and being approached that we want to organize an award show. Yeah. And nothing like that existed. So
they had a number. They had, is it ECRAC or something? Entertainment and Critics.
Did it exist on that level?
There was ECRAC. There were others. Sunshine. Other award schemes existed. Okay. But we said we wanted to do ours differently. Yeah. And we wanted to involve the public. Because most of those awards were just honorary. Yeah. And we wanted ours to be competitive, to get the public to vote. So actually when we started, it was 100% public voting. Okay. Yes. And that took place for a few years. Then we began to bring in other layers of voting. So we just wanted this to be a People's Choice Award. Mm-hmm. And that's why we will always have the public voting as part of it. And
that's the initial concept.
That was the initial concept, making it a People's Choice Award. Then the public vote. Let us tell us who their favorite artists were.
I mean, from the arguments that they were having.
We're having backstage. Yeah, that was the genesis of it. Yeah. So it was always, at the heart of it has always been the fans. Yeah. The fans should be involved in telling us who their favorite musicians were. So we had to go around and get buy-in from all the stakeholders. We started with Musica. Alhaji Sadiq Kubari was very supportive. He saw the vision. He latched onto it. At the beginning, he had a lot of resistance from his people that why can't we do our own? Why are we supporting these people? But I think he also saw the earnestness with which we were pursuing it. So they saw what we had already achieved with Agro and thought that I think we are onto something good. We had to talk to all the musicians. I remember going all the way to Accra Central at that time, Makola, I think that's where Amanzeba. They had a restaurant, a very big restaurant there. Oh, okay. Here in Akosua, Japan at the time. Yeah. So I would go all the way there several times to meet him, to have a chat with him, to explain to him what we were doing. I went to look for Rexoma. We engaged because they were the top musicians at the time. Yeah. I went to see Kojo Entry, he to basically explain to them. I remember going all the way to Achimota to see Daddy Lumba of blessed memory to explain what we're trying to do and to get them to accept to be nominated because they were the top musicians at the time. Yeah. I mean, we had to just go around everywhere, just talking, engaging. And one person who was very helpful during that period was Fred Nyama. Okay. Fred Nyama was acting as our A&R actually during Agro. So he was helping us to book all the artists. He was, I think at that time, Dasibre's manager. Okay. Dasibre's of blessed memory, his manager. But beyond that, he was acting as our A&R. Okay. Booking up the artists and all that. So he was setting up all these meetings and then we'd go together, go and talk. And it was cumbersome, but it was necessary to get a buy-in. And there was a lot of objection and protest. These Agro people, Agro Music Awards, those sorts of things. I was going a lot of that. But we knew what we were doing. Okay. We were very clear on the kind of event we wanted to do and the kind of image that we wanted to create for the artists. Okay. So that drove us. And we felt that really our industry was doing really well. We had transitioned from high life to burger high life, and now we were on the cusp of hip life. So that was to see growth. Yeah. And we thought we had to just capture all of that. So so that was it. We had to bring everybody in. And then we also had a very, very important partnership with GBC.
Okay.
At that time, GTV was still the strongest TV station. So we needed to have them on board to air this program live.
Yeah.
So because we knew that was really important. So we approached Professor McDodo, who was then the Director General, and Fusana of Blessed Memory, Fusana Jagba.
Okay.
She was very instrumental in getting us the deal. We were able to broker a live coverage, and we did all the promotion, etc. And on the D-Day, we went live.
Nice.
I mean, we had great people like Johnson Edu doing the set design. Those days, set design was all about wood and painting.
Yes. There were no screens.
But the interesting thing was they used to do these 3D models.
Yeah.
Actual like with cardboard.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of
like how they do the rocks these days.
Yes. You'd see. So we had the whole set. Everything you were going to see on set was actually done in the 3D live model.
Okay.
So we had it sitting on the table. We look at it. Okay, so this artist will come from here and do that. And now you have everything digital. Yeah. But in those days, it was all manual. Everything had that you wanted to imagine. You had to see, in a 3D model.
So was the first one an instant success?
It was amazing. I mean, we went on air. I mean, we hadn't done the live TV production before because our girl was always pre-recorded and edited. Yeah. But this was live. So we went, 3, 2, 1 live. And I mean, but it was, we were novices at live TV, but everybody was so fired up on the ball that the event just went on back, pam. No gap, no error, no mistake. And by the time the event was over, everybody was like, wow, we really did the thing, It was amazing. And we I mean, was amazing. It just blew people's minds.
I hope more people are listening to this to understand that you have to take the risk,
Yes.
I know a lot of people will see something like Ghana Music Awards and think it was started by people who knew exactly what they were going to do, how they were going to get it done. But most of the time, to get something great done, you need to take the risk, even when you don't know how it's going to turn out.
Exactly.
And it mostly turns out
great. We just had a picture in mind.
Yeah.
And we just wanted to achieve it. And things just worked out.
Yeah.
But you see, everybody was on edge. Everybody wanted it to go well because it was live on TV. There was no room.
Yeah, there's no cuts.
Any mistake. No cuts. The MCs were wonderful. We had Kwame Sefakai, Chairman General. Yeah. He was our MC at the time. And we had wonderful people working with us backstage. Pajon Jackson. He was working with us backstage. And we had a whole amazing team. Nana Benjamin Datsun was the producer.
Okay.
At the time, yeah.
So that's a very strong team.
It was a very strong team. We had Moses Japon from GTV also directing. It was amazing.
Wow. And then right after doing Ghana Music Awards and succeeding.
The first edition, and then we rolled on. And we had some great sponsors who saw the vision also and came on board to help us get it going. Yeah.
Then the next thing we see, okay, you've done something great for the music industry. Now something great starts to happen for the comedy industry, from the 1,000 Laughs to having something for the beauty industry for Miss Malaika. And I personally remember Stars of the Future.
Yes.
Because that's how I met Charterhouse first.
Yes. And actually, we really want to bring Stars of the Future back, but in a modern version.
You should.
Because the industry needs it.
The industry
really needs it. Yeah. Because there needs to be a talent development platform. It has to be ongoing. So that there's a soft landing for some of these talented musicians, because finding your own way can be really tough. Really tough.
One thing that made me see Stars of the Future was efficient. This was after I had released, so I think like 2008 or so. A young boy came to the studio and came to ask for voice training. And when I asked him why, he said he wanted to be trained to go and compete in Stars of the Future. I was like,
okay,
oh, wow.
That's cool.
That means it's working.
Yeah.
So was it a deliberate attempt to fix problems in the different sectors in the creative industry?
Actually, when we started Stars of the Future, we were looking at a full-scale creative industry talent development.
Okay.
So the first categories we came up, but the first edition of Stars of the Future, we had dance, we had comedy and music.
We had music, yeah.
So the first edition, we had discovered stars, like that's where Foster.
Yeah,
Romanus was discovered, and there's another guy who won. I can't remember the guy's name, but there were two comedians that came out of the comedy aspect of it. Then we had dance. There was one guy called Solomon, another guy who came out of the dance competition. Then we had the music, which was
Irene,
Ramsey and Irene, and Jane. So we actually had those three streams.
Yeah.
All coming out of Stars of the Future. So the idea was to keep running this and developing these talents in that space. And we're able to, by God's grace, do it for about 5 years. But we had to drop the other two along the line because it was quite difficult and challenging in terms of funds to do all of that. So we just went along with music. I can only imagine if we had been able to continue these three talent forms throughout. Can you imagine the amount of talent that we would have right on our scenes right now?
So would you say the biggest challenge in event organizing is funding in Ghana?
Yes, funding is absolutely important. That's where you start.
First of all, I even have to ask, how do you guys make money? As somebody who's organized events and I've been on all the different sides of the industry, right? Yeah. Every time we're organizing an event, for me, from my side of the industry, we're organizing it for the brand. Like maybe, I'm organizing a kiddie concert to uplift his brand. But I'm not thinking about making money from it.
Yeah.
So whenever we organize an event, what I think after is, so how are Charterhouse making money?
Well, the secret to our success is that we had to diversify our income streams.
Okay.
We have to diversify income streams in order to make money elsewhere and then use these events as brand promotion.
Okay.
That's it.
So it's similar to us
it got to a point where we were asking ourselves, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't bring you any money, but it brings you the fame. You get it?
I heard a story.
So there was a trade-off.
That's why you changed it for the culture.
Yes. We're doing it really for the culture.
Yeah.
What the things that we do in the creative space are really for the culture, because it's very difficult getting your money back when you invest in the creative space. People sit down and based on how big it sounds and everything, they think that you're making so much from the sector. Even the musicians themselves think you're making money off them.
Yeah.
But really, I think that what has helped us stay consistent in what we do is because we have over the years also invested in a lot of logistics. A lot of logistics to support what we do.
Yeah.
And that has helped. Look at you. You've invested in this studio. And that has considerably helped achieve your dreams.
If you didn't have this, if I had to rent everything,
can you imagine if you had to be renting it? So you realize that because of the largesse of your dream and what you want to do, it's important that you own some of the logistics and you actually you invest in logistics, make it now available for the industry.
Yeah.
So now people come and use the space for you as well, and you can also have access to. So that's really what we did, because we were first movers in most of the things we did, and we couldn't find what we needed on the market because people were not doing things to that level.
Yeah.
So it got to a point where we had to invest. And
or else you can't maintain the level you want to operate at.
Otherwise your creativity, innovation is capped by what's available. Really. So if you think I want to do this and you can't find the equipment, you can't find the logistics, you can't find the technology locally, then you can't do it. So for us to be able to do all the things we wanted to do, we had to move and get the things in. And I always say to people that if I take you through the history of Charterhouse and the events and the shows that we've done, it will actually show you through what we've been doing, the evolution of our own industry.
Okay, true.
Yeah, true. Because starting from the wooden stages being painted to, now there's a new technology, now they can print on flexi.
Yeah.
So then we now said, no, it wasn't even flexi before, it was printing on fabric. It wasn't even printing. It was screen printing.
Oh, yes, I remember screen printing
banners. Remember those banners? So that was to us progress from printing, from painting on wood to now printing on fabric.
Before the flexi came.
So now we moved to printing on fabric. So that was what we were using. New technology.
Yeah.
Then the next one was printing on flexi.
Yeah.
Then we started doing that. Then the next thing was, what do you call them? LED carpets.
Oh, okay.
Those LED, was this, what do you call it? Like a curtain. LED curtains.
Okay.
LED curtains. It was like a curtain like those black drapes
Yeah.
with LED lights in them, and they could be programmed
Yeah.
to create patterns
To give
and shapes.
designs
So
and
that
stuff.
was in the new one now. So now when you're doing your set design, you incorporate that in it. So we're always the ones moving to bring in this. As soon as we hear there's something new, we go get it.
So, but how wasn't that difficult? Always having to innovate, because you could always just say, okay, this has been working for us. Let's just keep doing it for a while.
This is what is happening. This is the newest thing now, because we wanted the aesthetics
Yeah.
to look good, to look international level, to really bring us at par with the global trends.
And you always keep doing that. Like, as I'm here, I always know
Yeah.
if I'm doing an event and I need the best screens, I have to come to Charterhouse.
We have the best in town.
Yeah.
We have the best in town. And a lot of people don't invest in the best because you can get cheaper ones.
Yeah.
And when a client asks you to provide LED screens, they don't ask you for the particular pixel, except it's an international production company that is used to certain quality. But in Ghana, most of the time,
Most
an
people
LED
take
screen
whatever they
is
get.
an LED screen. So you can get very cheap ones, and then you can really get the high quality ones. So in town, in Ghana, I can tell you that when it comes to production logistics, we have the highest level, because for events, top grade events like the Ghana Music Awards, we do not compromise on quality. So we have P2, P3s, whereas most people are using P5s, P6, etc.
Yeah.
You know,
Make
so
I have P4.
we have P4, but we have P2.
Yeah.
And I'm sure very soon.
So, I mean, I have screens, but I come and rent your own.
Of course. Depending on what you want,
Yes,
the output
exactly.
you want to get.
Yeah.
So we always had to be at the forefront of the industry, rushing to get the new technology, you know.
But wasn't that like draining on your budgets?
It was. So what we did was, once we brought in the new technology and we used it for our events, then we had to look for events to use it for.
Okay.
So then we networked the industry to let them know that this was available now. So then gradually the general standard industry also moved.
Also rises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the new technology now. We most of the time would outdoor it at the GMA, and then we'll now make it available to other people. So when they're also doing events, they come and rent it and also use it to uplift their events. Because now people say, now there's printing on flexi, so we can't do wood anymore. So then everybody now starts going for the flexi.
Because everybody wants the best.
Move. So the whole industry moves.
Yeah.
The whole industry moves. You know, when you move, the whole industry moves. So that was basically what we're doing. So we moved from the LED curtains. Then now there are these. We started putting LCD screens came.
Yeah, the normal screen,
flat,
you just cut a hole
cut it and put
in.
it into the stage, you know, to just give you that, you know, digital feel.
Yeah.
So we went through that whole phase again. Then now the LED screens actually came. The first batch came, but those were the very bulky boxes. You know?
It wasn't this cute.
It wasn't
small,
these cute
small
things
boxes,
we're seeing now. Very bulky, like like really bulky. The back end was like huge, like a television.
Yeah.
Those old time televisions. So we started with those as well, you know, using them on screens. All of those, we had to invest in them. We had to get them and then start incorporating them into the screens, and other people started also getting them, you know. So it took a long time for there to be multiple suppliers of logistics. For a long time, we were the ones who were always leading and supplying to the industry and more. I think though people haven't worked with that and seen a lot of events now using that, people now began to also invest in that space, and now we have so much logistics on the market. But in the early days, it was tough. I mean, anything new, any innovation, anything we wanted to do, any ideas, we had to invest in the technology, and we also had to bring in foreign expertise to operate them to a certain level. So we had to.
I mean, I remember this time
we had
you
a
brought
great
in
relationship with South Africa.
Yes, I was just come to say you used to bring in South African sound engineers.
We bring in South African sound engineers, South African audio technicians, video technicians, and lighting technicians, lighting directors. So we had to bring them in, and through that we also achieved a lot of skills transfer.
Okay.
So when they came in, they worked with the local
also
team.
train the people.
They trained the local people to also be able to do these productions at a certain level.
Okay.
You know, so we did that to a point where now we don't even bring them in anymore, except we need a higher level of expertise. But I mean, we even had one technician stay with us for 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah, we just came to Ghana, lived with us, and trained a lot of locals before going.
Okay.
So by the time most of the top people in especially the lighting industry, were trained by this gentleman.
Okay.
And are now, you know, their own leaders in their own spaces.
So aside the money, which we know funding is always a big problem, which other big challenge do you say you face in the events and creative industry?
I would say, surprisingly, I would say talent.
Okay.
Creative talent is not very
I can
easy
understand
to come
that.
by. Yeah, because our educational system is not skewed towards training people for the creative sector.
Yeah.
It's very high on academic study, and if you show a lot of promise as a creative talent in your childhood, most of the time parents are very confused. They don't know what to do with your creative talent,
Yeah.
and so they just bury it and force you to go mainstream.
Yeah.
And then and another thing that we've done, which is so bad for the sector, is or has not helped the development of the sector, is calling creative studies or creative activities extracurricular.
Yes. It
We
makes
call
you
it
feel like
extra.
it's
So after
not
you have
part.
finished
The
all the
main
main
study,
school
you know.
work, then where you are grow.
It's like you are playing.
playing.
I grow.
So then when a child is really good in those areas,
Yeah.
they become diminished. They are
I
never
always said,
seen
like,
as serious
when I'm watching,
people.
sometimes when I'm watching some maybe foreign movies and stuff, and I see School of Performing Arts,
Yeah.
and I see people who are going to school
Yeah.
and they're learning DJing,
Yeah.
singing,
Yeah.
dancing,
Yeah.
acting, writing.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, okay, so that explains it. That explains why you can watch a movie,
Yeah.
and that movie has 100 people
Yeah.
who are acting, dancing, and singing at the same
Yeah.
time. But over here, because it's not taught,
Yeah.
somebody can naturally sing, and that's all they can do.
That's it.
It's not been harnessed. It's not been
It's raw talent.
just raw
We are
talent.
operating on raw talent.
Yeah.
So the talent pool has been quite challenging.
Okay.
And so you realize that the talent is not evolving as fast as your ideas.
Yeah.
So sometimes
You have an
are
idea, but
really-
who's going to do it for you?
Finding the people to execute it is quite difficult. It's better now because there are more people have entered into the space. But can you imagine way back then,
Yeah.
when you were thinking of these big things?
I mean, back then, how
where
many
you couldn't
people
find
knew
anybody-
what a set designer
Yeah,
was?
set
So,
design.
yeah.
So for a long time, we did our own set designs.
Mm-hmm.
We would bring in graduates from tech.
Mm-hmm.
We would train them internally. They would come in as graphic designers, 2D.
Okay.
By the time, because of things that we are doing and the things we want to do and create, then they'll now start doing 3D.
Yeah.
Then they'll now move into set design.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had one particular person who came in as graphic design national service, did 2D, 3D, 4D,
Mm-hmm.
went on to do animation,
Mm-hmm.
and is now a big time, top animators and video production
Nice.
and producers in Ghana.
I keep thinking that's one of the things that's really missing.
We created we developed a lot of people through work. Through work. And so
I
the
wish we could
learning
multiply that.
The
like,
learning
we
curve
could scale
was-
that up for the country.
Yeah, the learning curve was very long. Very long. So a lot of people working at our company have worked with us for a long time. Because we
Okay.
take you from scratch and then we train you and build you up. And because of the multiplicity of things that we do, you don't get bored. Today
Yeah.
you're doing this, tomorrow you're doing that, you're doing that. We used to do TV production as well.
Yeah.
At some point, we were the biggest independent TV producer
Oh, okay.
in the heydays of TV.
Yeah.
We had about 8 titles
Because I remember
running.
It Takes Two.
Yeah, we had It Takes Two, Master Sports, Guess Who's Coming for Dinner.
Yes, Guess Who's Coming for
we
Dinner.
had like plenty.
Yeah.
We had Stars of the Future. We had so many titles running. So we had like a full studio. We had producers, directors coming
So
to
you
work
were-
every
you
day.
were a TV station
working
already.
on. So you're asking us how were we surviving? Those were the things,
Okay.
not the events. The events.
It drains.
The event drains you, but those other productions and
Yeah.
things that we were doing, those were more commercial.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were bringing in the income that was sustaining us and allowing us to come and dream.
Mm-hmm.
So we fantasize and dream with the events,
And then
make all the noise.
you go and make
then
money
we go and
here.
face man this, and make all the money to keep. So we employ a lot of the people all came to work with us. Pepper,
Yeah.
all of them, they all cut their teeth working with us at Charterhouse on productions. So many people in the industry have all passed through Charterhouse.
Yeah.
If you really wanted a career in the creative sector,
It was the place
it was
to
the
go.
place to come to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you come in there, I always tell them, when you come, we just throw you in. You sink or you swim.
Thank God for those who are
If you are
swimming.
creative,
Yeah.
but only if you are creative, you survive.
Yeah.
Because then your creative
But
juices
honestly,
will
that's
be
the best.
awakened.
That's the
Yeah.
best way.
But if
Like
you're
even when
not,
you mentioned your own story with the first Ghana Music Awards,
mm-hmm.
you threw yourself
oh
in.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then you start creating and imagining and putting action to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was it. So we had a whole bouquet of TV productions. So that was what was sustaining us. After we do the Ghana Music Awards, by the time that is done, we come back. We have It Takes Two to produce. We have this Guess Who's Coming for Dinner. We have this. All of that involves producers, script writers, directors, etc. We had invested in a lot of camera equipment, studio setups. I mean, so we had a whole engine that was running for creatives. So people would graduate from NAFTI and come to us to work with us because we were creating all this content. We discovered talents like Bella Mundi, Jocelyn Duma. All of them worked on various rhythms.
I mean, Jocelyn was rhythms. Bella too was rhythms.
Yes, rhythms, etc. And even from Miss Malaika, we would take the very good talents from the competition and start developing them as presenters, as various areas they wanted to.
And I think that's one thing Charterhouse always did well at. It didn't just stop at the events, because Stars of the Future, you would still invest in the talents afterwards and everything.
Future, we really vested in getting them the good production deals that would really get them going as artists, because we wanted to create an artist, not just a talent show winner.
Yeah.
And that has always not been what we are. We always want you to become a bona fide artist. The show has discovered you. Now thrive as an artist.
Yeah.
So we help you to thrive as an artist. And that's why most of the talent shows we organize, the Stars of the Future, developed all these female artists, Irene and Yala and all of them came through Stars of the Future. And then we also had
Hitmaker as well.
Hitmaker. We moved on to Hitmaker. We took the same approach to Hitmaker. We worked with you on Hitmaker as well. And Kiddy and Kwame Eugene and all of them came through that and etc. So that has really been the journey. We've just been very involved in creative talent development. And
so which events do you say would have been your most difficult, most challenging?
I mean, some of the most challenging events we've had have not been public events.
Okay.
Yeah, they most likely probably be an event we're organizing for a client which had really difficult circumstances. I remember there was one event we did in Cape Coast.
Okay.
I think it was for the British Council. It was about an event that was marking 100 years of slavery.
Okay.
It was done at Elmina Castle. Oh my God. The sun. By the time we finished that event and we came back to Accra, all the crew's skin were peeling. Working under that hot, debilitating sun was something else. And then we've also had other events where maybe attendance wasn't as you would have expected it, considering how much you've invested, But unfortunately, you can't also charge so cheap because it's costly, So there are these kinds of dynamics that you get faced with, with some of the events. And of course, I mean, I remember there was one Ghana Rocks we did when I think we had
Ghana Rocks.
We had Benna Boy.
Ghana Rocks was one of the things that started the whole...
The December,
the dirty December.
Dirty December actually started with Ghana Rocks when we collaborated with Aquaba UK
to bring the UK people,
in the Ghanaians in the UK, to bring them back home. And then we did it. We started with the Ghanaians who were doing great music in the UK.
Yeah.
Tinchi Strider, Doneyo, and all of them. We began to bring them home and come and do concerts in Ghana and bring the diaspora.
One of my favorites personal performances ever was on Ghana Rocks.
On Ghana Rocks, okay. Yeah. So that was like the big cultural event that we were doing in Christmas, to bring all these artists. And I remember there was one the last one we did where Benna Boy was on the rise.
Yeah.
And he was supposed to have attended and he wasn't able to make the flight, and it was so disappointing to our audience. That was the first time.
How do you handle those kind of disappointments?
Well, it happened. What can you do? You just need to manage the audience and explain to them what happened and find a way to compensate them if they are willing for compensation. And then, we move it from there. But that was the first time an artist had bailed out on us. The artists were expecting, because it was supposed to have arrived with a private jet, and unfortunately, for one reason or the other, I don't know, just couldn't make it. But he made up for it by coming for the Ghana Music Awards the following year, and that was another horrific year where we had the altercation on stage.
Oh,
that was our 20th anniversary
Yes.
edition. We had planned it to the T.
Charlie.
We had planned this, brought in all the big international big wigs to be part of it. We had brought in the Mobile Awards CEO, to come and see what Ghana is doing, so we can collaborate and put Ghana on the international map. We had brought in so many invited guests all over. Went to sit down, and then that altercation happened on stage. That was the worst ever. So you asked me one of her most challenging.
That
tops it. That tops it. That was really challenging for us, because it was scary, because there were safety concerns.
Yeah.
First of all, and then there was also the brand concerns, because you had sponsors who had come to associate their image with you, their brand with you. And we had news stories all the way in the Daily Mail in the UK because of the particular sponsor who was on that. It was an international brand, so it was all. But I must, really thank Madam Patricia Obonai, for really, really supporting us and standing by us. And if you see her anywhere,
I should tell her.
Thank her for us, because she really showed a lot of empathy in the situation, because another brand would have said, that's it, you have
that they'll just pull out. Yeah.
What would we have done? That was the time that our partner should pull out. That's when we needed all the support, and she really stood by us and said, we'll work with you through this, and we need partners like that. So
how do you stay calm in those kind of moments? Because that's heartbreaking.
In fact, what surprised us was, after all that scuffle, and people stayed.
Yeah, people stayed.
To continue the show. At that point, I was thinking, it's me, the show is over.
The show must go on. That night was the truth. The show
must go on, I tell you. We were shocked, because we thought that everybody was just going to go home. But, after the initial whatever, and the few people wanted to leave, left.
Yeah.
People stayed.
Well, like, okay, if you are going, go. Maybe I'm here.
People stayed. So when we saw that people were, once we had contained it, and we were now trying to figure out the next we move forward, then we saw that the place had calmed down. People were stayed. So we went backstage and we said, okay, it looks like we can carry on. The scuffle has been, whatever. So let's carry on. And we carried on, And if you notice, we didn't announce the last award, because we were worried that if we announced it, then maybe there were still some other fans in the audience
that were going
to lead to whatever. So we said that, we will not announce it. So we had to finish the show without announcing it. But luckily for us, we had, towards the end of the show, that's when the big acts are coming in. So that's when Burna Boy came to perform, and then we had Samini, and so we closed the show on a big high, even though all of that happened. And of course, the following day, we had to do damage control.
Yes.
Oh my God, the media was all over. But I had a friend who called, and she said, she's a top corporate lady, Madam Mady Akutu. She was the MD of Unilever then.
Okay.
So she called me. She said, Theresa, I saw what happened. I said, I don't know. She said, you know what? This was just a security breach. I know you put in all the efforts, but sometimes you may put in all the effort, and yet some people will breach. And when that happens, it's a bit out of your hands. So I think this is the way you should look at it. So she gave me the kind of impetus to that. Okay,
for it
if we just accept that this is what happened. So sometimes you have to accept your vulnerability.
Yeah.
And then just, move forward. You can't come defending or whatever, because it took us all by surprise.
Yeah.
We've taken a lot of things for granted. Ghana is a safe and peaceful place.
You don't even think something like this will happen.
Things. But then that obviously showed us that we have to pay more attention to those areas. So we had to go and do the media rounds, admit that there was a security breach, and that we'll do better next time. And did a lot of engagement with the police and the security forces and our sponsors and our partners, and we were able to overcome that and move on. So that was one of the most challenging challenging.
How do you handle
for the brand?
How do you handle all this crazy, like, you see, when you have something big and it's so positive, it also comes with so much negative. How do you handle all that with the critiques and the people, saying bad things?
Saying that, what do you call it? Who won what?
Yes, who won what? This person should have won this. Why wasn't this person nominated? How do you handle all that?
There were years when those things used to get to us.
Okay.
There were years they used to get to us a lot in the early years. I remember there was one year when I think the whole award scheme was won by 5 artists. I can't remember which year it was, but I remember it was a year that Daughters of Glory Jesus won like about 6 artists. I think VIP also won. I think it was just 5 musicians.
And they swept everything.
And I think that was the last year we did 100% public voting.
Okay.
Yeah. That was the last year we did 100%.
Because when the public is voting, they can just push it in.
With passion, but they don't even do any analysis anymore.
Yeah.
They just go wherever they see their favorite artist name, they are just picking. So after that, we realized, that was after the 5th year. We said, we can't do 100% public voting. We need to break the voting pattern.
Okay.
So we began to, what happened was after that, we called an industry gathering. We just opened up, people came. I think we did the British Council, we did the open house.
Okay.
So people came to share their thoughts, give us suggestions. So after all of that, we took the feedback and we sat down, analyzed it, and realized that, okay, I think we cannot rely on 100% public voting. So let's introduce other layers. Let's not make it as simple. So then we brought in the academy. And then a few years down the line, we also introduced the board. So now it's 3 layers of vote. And I think that has worked perfectly.
It protects it a bit more.
Yes, it's protected it a bit more and allows for more analysis, more deeper analysis, but still gives the public a say.
Wow. Yeah. You guys have been running, like Charterhouse has been going consistently and successfully for 26 years?
25 years.
25 years.
Plus, because we're 25 in February.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how have you been able to maintain the high standards throughout this entire journey?
We have an internal motto, the quest for 0 defects.
Okay.
Which is borrowed from Panasonic.
Okay. Any Panasonic cameras here?
Our public slogan is the power behind the performance.
Okay.
That is our slogan. Yes, we are the power behind the performance. And so if you see a great performance, we are the power behind it. So that's basically, and that's where the term powered by came by.
Oh,
because
okay.
we when we were doing our events, we said, powered by Charterhouse, the power behind it.
Yeah, I actually got that info. Anytime I'm saying powered by links, I got it from Charterhouse.
You see, a lot of people now say powered by.
Yeah, I used to love it when I see an event and then it says powered by Charterhouse.
Yes,
I was like, that's nice.
Yeah. That came from our slogan. But our internal motto is the quest for 0 defect.
Okay.
Like we seek perfection in everything that we do, and we
I like to term it excellence.
Excellence.
Yeah.
Yes. Excellence, actually. You're right. We seek excellence in everything that we do. So we drive the team towards that. And we've also driven the brand values in the team that, listen, I mean, this is the brand that we are. When you mention our name, what comes to mind? Excellence, quality of delivery, execution, etc. So people know what to expect from our brand. So we have to live by the brand.
Okay.
By the brand values. And so that's what we imbibe in the team. And we work our processes that we put our processes in place. I would say that there's a Charterhouse way of working.
Okay.
And that has been imbibed in everybody who comes to work with us. Even in our suppliers and our vendors.
They know how you behave,
may work
how
with
you
the same vendors on another event.
Yeah.
But you may not drive them the way we would drive them, or make certain demands on them, or have certain levels of expectations, delivery expectations that we would place on them. So when they come to work with us, they know that, hey, you can get away with certain things with other places, people, but not us.
But how do you manage? A lot of creatives believe in operating from chaos, not discipline. How do you manage to get creatives to act from a place of discipline?
We also believe in I don't know what to say. Is it the 80-20 rule?
Yeah, Pareto's principle.
You spend 80% of the time planning.
Yeah.
Planning, going over everything over again, trying to think what could happen what if, plan A, plan B. So we spend a lot of time planning. So when it comes to execution, it's like you've gone over the event several times in your head.
Yeah.
So execution becomes pam, 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 pam. But we spend a lot of time around the table planning. I mean, I don't know if you've worked with us on any of our committees.
Yeah, I have.
When we're doing some of these events, like the Ghana Music Awards, we have a technical committee that plans the technical aspect of the event. It didn't used
I think
to be so.
I've been called for just a meeting for the brainstorming of it before.
Yeah. So we work. There's a lot of planning that happens, meetings and discussions and sharing of ideas.
Yeah.
And now with all this technology, we now have all these tools that we use for meetings, etc. So you don't have to be physically showing up. You can join by Zoom and be part of the planning and thinking process. So a lot of that happens before we roll out.
Okay.
And so by the time we roll out, everybody is very clear on what they need to do. And then having the venue, the Grand Arena also helps, because then we can also rehearse.
Okay.
We can have enough time to set up and rehearse. Previously, we didn't used to have that. So you are executing probably like, your execution is probably what you should have done a rehearsal, as a rehearsal, but we don't have the time. But having the logistics and the infrastructure also really helps. I mean, if you attend a show abroad, I mean, the size of what we do, they will be set up for like almost a month.
Yeah, way ahead.
Yeah, I mean, we've watched a lot of these making of concert videos, and you see how long they set up and rehearse. They rent warehouses, simulate the stages they are going to perform on for months.
I mean, I had
rehearsing till that one day.
When we organized the RNAQ40, I had somebody, an international person, ask me how long it took, because we did 18 days, but they were like, if an event like that was done outside, it would have been done for at least 4 months.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But in Ghana, it's like we don't get that luxury.
No. So having the infrastructure helps.
Yeah.
And that was one of the reasons why we invested in that infrastructure, because the industry really needed it. I mean, the die was cast when we had that power outage during the Ghana Music Awards. Remember? At the conference center.
I remember that live, one.
And the power just went off.
That TV. Day, I remember it taught me a very valuable lesson in event organizing, right? Because I remember the night before, we came for rehearsals. Okay. Either Kiddy or Kwame was performing also. So we came for rehearsals the night before. And I was chatting with Yola and I was asking him, like, is everything set? And he was like, oh yeah. Like, he said that was 1 year that he felt super confident because everything was set. Yeah. And I could see from around, everything was set. And everything was going perfectly. Red carpet was just on time. Everything, and then...
Yes.
So I always tell people when we are organizing events or productions, I tell them, look, you plan for everything and get ready for that one thing to mess everything up.
Yeah. So basically what happened with that was that the kind of technical demands we're placing on the venue, the venue didn't have that capacity.
Yeah.
Because this was a building that had been built about 20 years ago.
And wasn't even built for that purpose. It was built for meetings.
We're pushing it beyond. It was built for conferences, really. A simple stage shows.
Yeah.
But this was a full multimedia production, all this new technology, screens, etc. Even though the cables were not built to take all this equipment, that we're now forcing the cables to handle the power source. So the power sources were overloaded.
And it just went off. It was for like almost an hour. Almost an hour.
We're off live on TV. Can you imagine?
That was crazy.
And it was crazy. So after that incident, we realized that we can only push this venue so far.
Because before that, there was. Do you remember the dome?
Yes.
There was a point to that was being organized in the dome.
Yes, but then it was shut down for technical reasons, and then it never opened. So we were stuck with this space. And apart from the audience overspill, more and more people wanting to attend, creating problems at the gates because you couldn't admit them all. Sometimes even like putting pressure on the conference center glass walls and breaking glass walls. It was just getting too cumbersome. So we really had to go and appeal to the government to help us put up a venue.
Yeah.
That we're like, okay, you know what? we can't rely on the government for everything. This is something our sector needs.
Yeah.
So we, as players in the space and at the forefront of what we do, and at the people who need it urgently, please, please, please allow us to set up this tent on the space so that we can help, to,
And it's been so beneficial to the
Yeah.
entire industry.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, so that was what we consider the home of the Ghana Music Awards. That allowed us to really step up our production elements, of the whole event. I mean, the kind of experience and production we can give you at the Grand Arena, I mean, it's like 3 times way more than what you're experiencing at the conference
At the
center,
conference center,
auditorium, and that has opened it up for us, open it up for the industry. Now we can get very creative in ideas. Now you can do a production with multiple stages, left, right. You can use the space really well, and it just kind of puts us at par with the world.
Yeah.
The standards around the world. On where we're great. And I tell you, the great things that we are doing here are also inspiring our neighbors like Nigeria and other countries to also, shore up their game and also invest in this infrastructure. So Ghana has led the way in a lot of these things.
We are the black star.
Yeah. So that has really
Even though there's some way left to go, we have to appreciate where we've reached as well.
We've done a lot. We've come so far.
Yeah.
Our creative industry is really one of the leaders in the continent, and there's so much more we can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but leadership style. What type of leadership style does it take to get creatives to perform so excellently?
I think it's the visionary type of leadership.
Okay.
I think my husband and myself are very visionary leaders. We always paint the picture of where we want to go, what we want to do, and we sell it to the team and get them to buy into it so that
they understand where they are going.
We all move together. Yeah.
Okay.
And for us, it's important that we keep what we are doing alive, because we have to be alive to be able to hire more creatives, to be able to create employment for creative people. When you are a creative, you don't fit in a bank.
No.
You don't fit in a hospital. You don't fit anywhere else. Even
you
in law.
Go mad. Yeah.
So if you are creative, there should be an industry to absorb you.
Yeah.
That's your industry. If you want to work in agric, you go into the agric industry and you work as an agric person. If you want to be a law, you go into the legal industry and then you work. If you want to be a banker, you go and work in the banking industry and provide thrive there. So if you are a creative, where do you go?
There needs to be a creative industry.
There needs to be a creative industry to take
one thing I keep preaching these days to let people understand is that, and when we say creative industry, we're not just referring to artist, actor, dancer, comedian. No. There's an entire industry. There's an entertainment lawyer, like you mentioned. There's an A&R. There's a salesperson, because you are doing sales in a creative industry.
Space,
So I know a lot of people who are going to work 9 to 5 and they are creatives and they can't stand, maybe they're very good with numbers. So they are working in a bank, but deep down inside, they like the creative industry. You can be a finance expert in the creative industry.
My office has, everybody there can organize an event, but there are still professionals in there. We have accountants.
Exactly.
My finance manager is one of the best event managers in our company.
Yeah, every event I see him.
Project manager, Joanna, Miss J.
Okay.
You see,
yeah, I've seen Miss J too.
Tiny, powerful lady. She can drop a budget close with her eyes closed. She can financially manage a project from A to Z, but she can also come on location and organize the setup and make sure that things are running smoothly.
Because it works hand in hand.
Yeah.
The person drawing up the budget for creative events,
everything that is required.
Thank you.
Can negotiate. So there's procurement in there, negotiating with your vendors to get the best deal.
Or else don't understand how to do it. If the person just comes from a finance background, they'll say, "Oh, what's the use of all these screens? Cut it, it's costing too much." But when they understand that, that is given the explanation, the experience, then
this is what it's used for. This is the outcome of what it does and all of that. Then they understand how to treat it in the book. So you have top financial experts working in the creative sector.
Like
you
law.
have law.
One thing I keep saying is that we are lacking entertainment lawyers. Because when you go to the US, the UK, Denmark and stuff, the entertainment industry is run by entertainment lawyers.
Exactly. And we say there's unemployment in Ghana.
So much
and
employment.
I say, come to the creative sector.
Yeah.
And that's when you see that there's underemployment.
Yeah.
When we need skills, then we cannot find people who are skilled. You're talking about entertainment lawyers. How many lawyers, graduate from law schools every year?
And they don't have jobs.
And they don't have jobs.
Yeah.
How many of them are specializing in entertainment law? How many lawyers do we need in the entertainment space?
Do they even understand IP? They don't know
lawyers,
any of this. Yeah.
But we don't have enough. In fact, if any, the one I know is the one who passed.
Cynthia, she passed away.
I don't know of anybody else.
I know one. She's called Antoinette Boam. I hope I got the name right. She's a very good entertainment lawyer as well. But right now, she's the only one that I know.
See, so there's underemployment.
Yeah.
If you're a lawyer looking for work, go and study entertainment law and look for work.
Let me even give this idea to anybody in the food industry out there right now. Every single day, there's an event or there's a video production or something, and they always need to feed their people. And they have to go and buy food from a restaurant, which isn't tailor-made to them. One food industry person can decide, I'm catering to the creative industry.
Yes.
The same way we have some people who their main thing is supplying offices.
Yes.
You could decide, or schools, yes.
Yeah.
You could decide this is your sector. So they can understand that, the shoot will go till 2 a.m.
There's market for a caterer in that space.
Thank you.
Young person looking for a job, set up a catering business and cater for the creative industry.
Exactly.
Accountants, you can provide accounting services to musicians. They need it. They're supposed to pay taxes. They don't know how to maneuver all of that. You can offer your services to the sector.
Yeah.
So any professional can work in the creative industry.
It's a full industry.
It's a full industry. It's a full industry that requires the service of all kinds of professionals to function. But that's where we are suffering, because all the professionals are not aware, and so they channel all those skills towards other sectors.
I think it's because our front end side is so visible and loud.
Yeah.
People think that's the only thing. Because as you're watching this right now, you see two people sitting here. So they think, I need to be a Richie or to be a Theresa to be here. But there are about 20 people in the room. Everybody is playing an important role.
Yeah. So there's a huge industry that is waiting to be tapped.
Yeah.
So I mentioned to you that I'm planning to come up with a podcast series. We set up our foundation. When we turned 25, we're thinking that there's so much we want to do for the sector. Having worked in for 20 years, we've seen so many challenges, but also opportunities. And we don't want to just come, do a bit and go and leave the issues as they are.
Yeah.
How do we make the industry better for the future creatives, the unborn ones? What kind of industry are they coming to meet?
Yeah.
Is it going to be the same industry of just talking and complaining?
Or are we going to solve the problems?
Or are we going to help solve the problems?
We keep saying entrepreneurship is about solving problems to make money. So then everybody should be looking at the creative sector, because we have plenty problems to be solved.
And for me, I see problems and challenges as opportunities.
Yes.
So
look at Spotify.
Yes.
I was watching an interview with the CEO, and he mentioned the fact that he was a musician. He played the guitar and stuff, and he was looking at entering the music industry, and he didn't know how to enter. Then he realized that musicians had a problem. So he solved it by creating Spotify. Yeah. It's a $33 billion company now.
So there's so many challenges and problems to be solved and opportunities. So the foundation that we set up is called the Charterhouse Creative Africa Foundation.
Okay.
We set it up because it's a not-for-profit. It's here to fix the problems, not on our own, but working through collaboration with like-minded individuals and organizations to be able to come up with solutions to some challenges. We've scanned through the industry and we've identified certain areas that we want to intervene, and we've created initiatives that we feel will address some of these issues. And not just to talk about them, but to create opportunities for creatives to thrive through those initiatives. And so the idea is that there's a problem, we try to fix it, and through that we are empowering creatives to make a living.
Okay.
So it's not just advocacy. That's the top.
Yeah, it's
The
practical.
end game is to create an opportunity for creatives to thrive in that space. So we have the foundation. We'll launch it fully. We've kind of announced it in various
you're rolling it out step by step.
Yeah, but we will announce it fully. One of the first things that we are doing is the Ghana Music Hall of Fame. I think I've mentioned it to you.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a big project, but we are rolling it out in 3 phases.
Okay.
The first phase is the Ghana Music Awards at 25 exhibition. So that's we are rolling out in December.
Okay.
We are collaborating with the National Museums and Monument Board, and then the Black Star Experience.
Okay.
To roll it out in December as part of the December event, but it's going to run for about 6 months to 1 year.
Okay.
And because over the past 25 years, we've become we have all the music.
We have the history.
The music sitting in our shelves, and we have to make it available for public consumption. It's a national property, basically. So by putting it on display in the museum, we believe that we'll be able to cement our history better and open it up to a lot of academic research, tourist attraction, etc. So that's a big project we have coming up. And the idea is that after we finish the Ghana Music Awards exhibition, we will now move to the second phase, which is the Ghana Music Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Where we are now going to work on the curation of our entire music history.
Okay.
From inception till now. And that we will need help with because we have to work with
the whole industry
curators.
Yeah.
And then after that, the next level is the Museum of the Arts. So I just discussed that with the Black Star Experience.
Okay.
We really want to create a Museum of the Arts to be able to have all our arts history under one
place.
So you'd have music, Hall of Fame there, you have fashion, you have the movies. So this huge building you come to as a tourist or as a student of whatever, and you come in there, you just basically spend the whole day there just soaking in Ghana's rich arts history. So that's the big dream. And that's like our big legacy project that we want to do. I love it. Having worked in this space for so long. And I know that's a bit long term, but we'll get
but one step at a time.
I
mean, everything you've done before you did it, it looked like it was too big to do, and you still achieved it.
So that's one of the big things we're doing, aside of the other initiatives that we have. And we launched the foundation. We'll have another chat, I believe.
Thank you. You know me, I'm always here.
Yes. And one of the things we want to do as a foundation is a podcast like we are doing.
Okay.
But our main theme will be focused on the creative sector in conversations that throw the spotlight on the sector and extract the value that can be achieved by the sector.
Yeah.
And then through that, hopefully, we can set some creatives free to thrive, or show them the way to thrive. Because we have always approached it from the business point, because we are entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
We are not the talent, the creative talent.
Yeah.
But
we are the power behind the performance.
Yes. We are the power behind the performance. So we are not in front of camera. We are behind camera, plugging things in, testing things, and making things work. And then we need a talent to now take the spotlight in front, But for what we do, what happens here most of the time is the focus is on the talent.
Everybody just only focuses on that.
And anybody who knows Hollywood knows that Hollywood is built by the industry.
Yeah.
The talent is the last person. In fact, the talent is looking for the industry to make them
the
talent.
There's supposed to be an engine that is running everything.
So here we have the talent, and the engine is weak.
Yeah.
The engine is weak.
And that's why you see the talents never get as far as they are supposed to.
Because you can only go as far as your talent will take you.
No,
After that,
do you know one thing?
Skill, you need the whole machinery. One artist it's like this, and there's a tree behind you. Or the image we have of this iceberg that is the tip is showing,
and then when you look underneath,
you see it huge, or a tree that is shooting up, and then you look under, you see the roots tapping everywhere. That is what the industry is. The person that you see at the top has so many things. Look at one movie. One movie, when you see the credits,
I love
After
watching when you watch
the
a Marvel movie,
you know,
and then they are listing the
long
companies.
lists of people.
Yeah.
Even one event, Ghana Music Awards.
Yeah.
I handle protocol. Do you know how many invitations? How many apart from invitations? Let's talk about crew tax.
Even the suppliers, the number
That's
of
what I'm
suppliers.
saying. The crew tax.
Yeah.
The vendor accreditations.
Mm-hmm.
We give up to about 1,500.
Crazy.
1,500. That means these are all people who have been paid
To work on
to
the
work
project.
on that one night, one event. 1,500 people.
And those are those working on the night.
On the
because
night.
there are people who worked before who won't come on the night.
Yes, who will not come on the night. But this is people working on the night as dancers, as propsmen, as caterers,
Yeah.
as makeup artists, as costume stylists,
Security.
as I mean, just name it. And each artist has like
their own crew they are
20
bringing.
people. Each artist has 20 people. Each performer has 20 people. Each, I mean,
But we don't see this.
and
we
all
don't
of these
understand
people
this.
are getting paid
Yeah.
for that one night. So can you imagine if we have every month a big event like that happen? If we had 12 big events happening in a year, that's like so many people getting employed
Yeah.
all the time. You know,
We have to build the industry. See, I've tried so hard to break certain bounds internationally. And one thing I've always come to see is you can't be bigger than your industry.
you cannot.
You need to move
You
as an industry.
cannot be bigger than your industry.
Yeah.
Because you see, when you are a talent and you are a talent whose time has come, there must be an industry to receive you.
Yeah.
Where is that industry? In fact, for us where we sit, 25 years in this industry, it's gotten worse.
It's true. A lot
It's
of things have
terrible.
gotten worse.
Where we started, at least there were record labels, you could mention them, and they were investing in the artists,
Yeah.
and they were full businesses running. They had the whole A&R, the publicity promotion, they
Yeah.
had like real,
I know.
machinery.
Last man standing.
Last month, and you've done really well even to be standing. I'll clap for you.
I'm withholding the wind that is blowing me down.
Because it is necessary.
Yeah.
Without, an artist, here we have artists who are running their own show. They are the ones working on their promotion. They are the ones creating the song. They're the ones going to the studio producing. They're the ones doing all the promotion, the press media relations. They're the ones doing international business development.
And they can never succeed like that.
How?
As I have you here,
You can only go so far.
Let me use this
But
to
you know what?
tell
The
people something
artist
about.
should be sitting in the studio creating.
Yeah.
That's the job of the artist. Create. And then everybody else around you is running around doing the work to push you. And so if you see artists who are breaking through, who are really going far, they have a huge team behind them.
Like
And that's why they don't come cheap.
I realized this about international artists recently. Like when I had the chance of being exposed to the industry abroad, not just the front end, the real industry, I realized if you take any big artist, like mentioned, Beyonce, Drake, whoever you want to think of, they have the record label.
Yeah.
Which is what we all know of. We all know every artist has a record label. Aside the record label,
They have their own team.
they have a management company
team,
that is just for them.
Yeah.
Then they have a booking agency that handles
Their
all their
bookings,
bookings. Then they have a PR company that is doing all their publicity. And then they have separately a publishing company, which is making sure all their publishing royalties and everything are collected. So when you look at that one artist and you think, oh, their team is doing a good job, it's not a team of 3 people.
No, it's different.
Yes, and each of these companies I just mentioned are powerhouses. Like from Beyonce to Jay-Z to all these people are handled by CAA. And CAA handled the Beatles. They've been doing this for over 60 years consistently. Then maybe this artist has their music, their record label is Universal, then their publishing company is Sony Music. So that's 2 powerhouses monetizing different parts of them. And then you have a very powerful PR that is running global marketing campaigns for them. So we try and compete with these people. We don't get that. No, there are powerhouses behind them.
And the artists who have broken through in international markets,
Yeah.
all these artists, Thames and all those artists, they are running those kinds of setups.
Exactly.
Their model, their business model is built like the international artists.
Yeah.
And that's why they are breaking through. They're not doing it as one-man shows, trying to do everything yourself. You can only
It can't
become a
work.
local champion.
Yeah.
You can't break through because the amount of networking that is required.
It's not possible to do it on your
as
own.
an artist.
Yeah.
No, you can't as an artist. And this is where, again, if you've studied business management, you can work in the creative industry. You can manage the business of an artist.
Exactly.
So you can be a business manager for the artist. I mean, if you studied any profession you studied.
If you've studied project management too, you can be on the team making sure every project they do
because
goes
they have
perfectly.
road managers who just manage the road and touring of the artist.
Yeah.
So there's so much opportunity. So I think there needs to be like a sort of an expose on the various professions and careers that can be had in the entire ecosystem.
Yeah.
So people can see the opportunities. And then the next question is, how do they get trained to be able to handle those roles? Because what's happening right now is that a lot of artists are managed by friends and family.
Yep. Who don't understand the job itself.
Yeah, because they're just helping their friend or their family.
Yeah, it's a favor.
So, and some of them even have other jobs they are doing.
Yeah.
So this is this on the part-time. So how do you now find people who
some of them said they're not even doing the
dedicated?
job. Maybe an artist hits, then Charterhouse calls them for a meeting and they call some their Uncle B who is working at a bank and says, oh, go with me to the meeting so that I look professional and that's it.
Yeah, so there's a lot of work to be done.
There's a lot of work to be
There's a
done.
lot of work to be done.
But we're up to the task.
But you are doing well.
And you are doing even better.
Keep going. And we are here to support. We're here to support,
Thank you.
to show the way. And one thing that creatives need to understand, like you said, they need to respect. I don't know, how do I put it? We need to respect our industry.
Yeah.
If we creatives do not respect our industry, other people will
Will
not
not respect the
it.
industry.
And for me, that is my pain point, that we don't respect our own industry.
Yeah.
And you show respect to your industry by the way you comment about things, by the way you promote things and all of that. Sometimes I listen to some of these pundits on the media
It's
houses.
very painful.
And it's very painful as a creative industry entrepreneur, somebody who is investing in that space. I take my work very seriously. I've spent 25 years in this sector. I mean, I spend my days and hours thinking and strategizing and coming up with creative ideas for this sector.
Yeah.
So why can somebody sit on radio and belittle the industry in sometimes the way they do? And so for me, those things put me off. And I feel that they put a lot of people off the industry and continue to make people not look at the industry seriously.
Yeah. A lot of people think
it's not an industry to be joked with.
Yeah. People think I don't want to be part
Hollywood,
of this.
Look at Nollywood, huge industries
Yeah.
built out of the creative sector. Recently, the Ministry for Foreign Affairs gave out diplomatic passports.
Yeah.
All the people are creatives.
I mean, who else but creatives?
They will take your name everywhere. They are the ones who will carry the name of the company elsewhere.
And I think every country who has understood that has actually marketed their culture.
Yeah, it's marketed. How those of us who have, before we all traveled, we knew everything about America.
Like, look at us. We're here and you have Ghanaian girls speaking Korean because they've been watching South Korean shows.
Look at that.
Look at the Indian movies that we used to watch all the time.
Remember the, what do you call them? The telenovelas.
Yes. They sold their culture to us so much.
Through the arts.
Yeah.
So why can't we sell our culture to the world?
Because I'm really thinking about it. Let's say before I traveled.
Yeah.
The only thing I knew about the rest of the world was through the arts.
Yeah, that's it. Through the arts and through the books you read.
Yeah.
That was it. Your mind went before your body.
Exactly. So we have to understand, if we want to take Ghana to the world, it's through the arts.
And the arts needs to be empowered.
Yeah.
And
someone can write a beautiful book, but he needs a publisher.
Yeah.
Someone can publish, but you need the printers. Yeah. Like, there's a whole industry.
Yeah, whole industry.
I'll never forget that thing you said to me that day in the office, where you said, we have a fashion industry, but nobody's making buttons.
That stuck with you, huh?
It stuck with me. I was like,
true.
oh my God, that's so true.
Yes. With all the clothes we are busily sewing,
We're importing
why
buttons.
are we not making zips?
Yeah.
Why are we not making thread?
Yeah.
Why are we not making all the inputs that are needed? And they're only doing the sewing.
Yeah.
There's a whole value chain.
We always
Can't
only want to
people
be on the front
plug
end.
themselves into the value chain?
Yeah.
That's job creation. We need somebody. When you go to China, there are places that produce only buttons.
Yeah.
Places that produce only socks. Places that produce, they've portioned the country to specialize in creating different elements of things that will eventually be put together to create a beautiful outfit.
And we claim there's no employment, but maybe it's just that we are not innovating in certain areas enough to create the employment.
Yes, that's it. And employment creation is not doing national youth employment.
No.
There's nothing called national youth employment. It's about looking at industries and creating the value chains in the industries
Yeah.
and empowering entrepreneurs to step into that space
Yeah.
to set up those businesses so that they can employ people. It's not about giving people pay, like come and sweep and collect money. How is that nation building?
When there's a need for the employment, it will move there naturally.
This one says, I'm setting up a button making or sewing accessories plants, manufacturing plants. I'm going to manufacture buttons. Maybe someone can say, oh, you see those beads?
Yeah.
Those glass beads that for years we've been doing glass beads. Can those beads be used to make buttons?
True.
Can, instead of doing it as beads to wear around the waist and ankle,
I was very happy
why
when
can't they use it to make buttons?
I wish I could remember the name of the company. I would have just given them free promo. There's a company right now that is making t-shirts in Ghana, like making the polo neck and everything directly here in Ghana. And I was so glad to see that because previously you always have to import the t-shirts and print on them. So, anytime a company wants to make like a particular design where maybe with my t-shirt, I want the left side to be yellow and this side to be black and all, you need to import it from China because we couldn't make it over here.
Yeah.
So I recently saw a company that is making it from scratch.
They are making the t-shirts now. How about we go further down the value chain?
And make the
How
threads.
do we make the fabric?
Yes.
How do we make the fabric? We are doing kente.
Yeah.
Is there anything we can do to make the fabrics? Can we discover other fabric or textiles or whatever materials that can be used to create new fabrics?
See,
What's happening to all our science and research institutes?
Do you know where the gap
Are they
is?
researching into new fabrics?
Do you know what the gap is? People have not realized that entrepreneurship is equal to creativity.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter what field you are in. Once you are starting a business, you are creating something into existence. So once we start to marry creativity with professionalism, you will have more of these things happening. I was when I was interviewing Anthony, CEO of Caveman, one of his biggest problems when he had the normal white collar job was he was too creative. So while he was in his workplace, he was always coming up with ideas and he would be shut down. Eventually he had to quit his job because he wasn't, but that same creativity is what led him to say, why is nobody making watches in Ghana? And he started making watches in Ghana. We need more of that kind of thinking. And we need to empower people to think and execute like that.
Yeah. So one of the ways in which we can just create jobs, especially in the creative sector, is really to begin to look at value chain.
Yeah.
Look at it from a value chain ecosystem point of view. And that's when you see the gaps, huge gaps. And then you see the opportunities.
Yeah.
In these gaps and challenges, of huge opportunities for employment. Huge. But like you're saying, we always start at the end.
Yeah.
The finished product.
That's what we want. Everybody wants the fine parts.
And one person is making a dress. Everybody now wants to make dress.
Yeah.
So they're all making dresses. And then that place become choked.
Yes.
Choked, clustered.
And they say, oh, that
and
industry is saturated.
Gone because one person starts doing this style. Those people that have come now.
Yeah.
Everybody. Everybody. Is doing boo-boos. Can't you now go back and start, what else can I do?
Yeah.
What else can I do? But it's like everybody just, the value chains. I'm telling you, the opportunities along the value chains. Recently, I got very interested in the agribusiness sector. We launched a new project called the Gastro Festival.
Yeah, the Gastro
It's a
Festival.
farm to table experience. We're trying to look at the food industry from beginning to end and see how we can bring the whole industry together. And I did a mixer with women in agribusiness, and they came and I saw what they were doing. Great stuff. But why is every person who is doing processing of food responsible for buying their own machine? So they can never expand.
True.
Like,
Because it
you have
becomes
to
expensive.
buy your own machine to do your Tom Brown and to do your processing and all of
Yeah.
that. And the person doesn't have money to expand, so you're going to operate at that smaller level. But there are 20 people doing Tom Brown. Why can't we have a Tom Brown producing factory?
Yes.
Somebody should set it up.
So you make the
You
raw
bring
materials.
No, I'll set up the factory. Big.
Yeah.
Now you bring your formula. We put it in the factory, in the machine, and produce for you.
Yeah.
Another person too brings their formula, their contract manufacturing. Bring it, come and do it, and go.
Yeah.
That way you don't have to put money into a machine.
The cost of buying all those machines.
You go and source
Yeah.
for your products. Focus on your formulation, work on your packaging and your branding.
Yeah.
And let manufacturing be done by somebody, because you can't scale.
You see, that's
You
what
can't
people
scale.
don't understand, that you can't scale when one person is doing everything.
Yes.
Like when you go
There
into
has to be
a factory,
specialization.
somebody's job is to put the label on,
Yes.
and that's it.
it.
That's all.
And they're scaling, they'll do it. So ideally, when you finish your product, take it somewhere, they will just label it for you, pay for cost of labeling becomes a cost.
Thank
it's
you.
not something that you have to do.
Yeah.
So when you go there, your job, create the product.
Yeah.
Formulate it. That formulation that will make people want to buy that product over and over again.
Yeah.
The taste. Spend time on that.
Building that.
When you build that, it becomes your formula.
Yeah.
Look at Coca-Cola. The formula
That's
is what
what's
has
special.
sold the whole world for centuries.
Yeah.
That formula, it can be produced anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
So that formula,
And that is why it's scalable.
yes. That is what you own. Then as for the production process, it can be taken over by somebody and, scaled up. And everybody can go and buy into it, So I don't understand. So I looked at all of them and I said, this is difficult. How can each person build a factory, a big factory? They can't. So they'll just have the small production in units in their house or their small factory they're doing.
Yeah.
And then that's what everybody's doing. So I was wondering that this is an opportunity for an investor. Like,
Please, investors, if you are watching.
Yeah, set up a factory to produce these cereals, and someone should help them to do branding.
Yeah.
So you just formulate, do your mix. Don't tell me how you got there. Formulate it and bring it, and tell me, this is my whatever grains. Process it for me.
Yeah.
When you process it, powder, I put it in bags. I take it somewhere else. Okay, package it for me.
And then somebody else is distributing.
Then somebody else is taking it. Okay, take it here. I'll distribute it in all the supermarkets for you in Ghana. I can take it to Melcom nationwide.
Exactly.
Don't worry about it. But you see, this same person doing the grains, the cereal, has to get her own machines, do it. Has to package it. Has to go to
distribute
Melcom.
it.
Try to talk to them.
Has to market
do
it
everything.
themselves.
Oh, she has to do everything.
Yeah.
How will she grow? So I look at them and I was like, nah, these are why we are not growing. So it's the same way in our industry. One artist is trying to do everything. Why?
It's happening in other industries as well.
It's happening in other industries. And that's why we are not growing. That's why we are not growing. We are not scaling. But we need entrepreneurs to identify these opportunities and come in and spend money. People have got money to spend though.
Yeah.
But you know what they do? They just follow the easiest thing to do. Right now, people are putting money in apartments. Haven't seen how many apartments are
plenty
springing up everywhere.
Because all the
That's
videos
the
are
new
saying
com
go
center.
into real estate.
That's
so,
the new com center.
Yeah.
Remember how Ghana?
Hey, com center. Then again,
forest breweries.
Then space to space. Do you remember space to space?
Space to
On
space.
one road, there's 10 space to space.
Now it's mobile money.
Yeah.
Everywhere you turn. I mean, it's like we find it. We go for the easy pickings.
Copy and paste.
But the engine is the value chains, just going backwards to see how you can integrate and also aggregate
Yeah.
in the value chain. So there's so many opportunities. I look around me in Ghana, Africa, and all I see is opportunities. But you can't do everything.
You can't do everything. Yeah. You've done your bit. So.
You can't do everything. So for me, this is where I
But at
found
least
myself.
advocating, talking about it. Like maybe just by watching this, somebody will now start making buttons, making zips, bringing machines for the Tom Brown.
The value chain. I mean, the dyes.
Yeah.
Where are we getting the dyes from? Who is inventing dyes? Who is innovating in dyes for printing? I mean, thread making.
Yeah.
If we can do, the yarns for the kente, we've been weaving kente since time immemorial.
Yeah.
Where were the yarns coming from? Why can't we provide sewing threads for the sewing industry through those yarns? Why are we importing? We say we made clothing, a dress is made in Ghana. Everything about the dress was imported.
It's imported. Yeah.
It was only the sewing that was made in Ghana.
We should change it to sewn in Ghana.
Yeah. So why? Yes, sewn in Ghana. Why can't everything on the value chain be made locally?
Here.
That's how you grow industries. That's how you create
food for thought.
Same for the creative sector.
Yeah.
Why are we having one man artist machinery? Why can't we have people offering this service? Like you talk about publishing.
Yeah. There should be a PR company.
PR company.
We only handle artist PR.
Yes.
That's it.
So I can sign on 10 artists.
Yeah.
And I'm handling their PR for them. People have gone to GIJ or is it UCOMS now? University of what? What's the name of the?
I don't even know the name of the combined one.
Unimac.
With Unimac, yes.
Unimac. Why can't a group of young people who have come out of Unimac set up a PR agency for artists? Nowadays, they are also social media savvy. So come together, form like 3 or 4 people, partners. So partners, and they know the way they do it in the law firms.
Oh, yes. Richie, Theresa.
Anderson and Theresa and Co. Yeah. 3 people come together, form a PR company.
Yeah.
Look for artists and say, listen, we want to handle your PR for you.
And that will solve problems in real time.
I sign you all up.
Do you know one problem we're having in PR in the music industry right now?
Yeah.
Things have gotten so dynamic that every 2 months, there's a complete shift in how PR works.
Okay.
So now the problem is that, you see, you're an artist, you release music in January. Maybe you did this strategy and it worked.
Yeah.
You're releasing your next song in May. Everything is different.
Okay.
You're trying what you tried in January. And it's
changing.
It's changing.
Fast.
So what you need is you need a company that is doing PR January, February, March. So they are seeing the change, adapting. So when you come back in May, they will now advise you that this is how to go now.
You just plug in. You don't have to overthink it because somebody's there 24 hours a day thinking through it for you.
Thank you.
So that's it.
We need more specialists and not so many generalists.
More specialists in the industry. And young people should come into the creative space and look along the value chain and create businesses.
Find the problems we have,
Find the problems that we have and fix them.
Yeah.
And create business from them because you get paid if you're solving a problem.
Yeah.
You make money from solving a problem. Because people don't, and most of the time when people set out to set up businesses, actually making money is the last thing on their mind.
Yeah, true.
They see a challenge, they see a problem, and they want to solve it. And in solving it,
people pay them.
Because you are in solving it, you are providing value. And people will always pay for value.
Yeah.
So look at all these Uber. Uber was started by people who went for a conference and couldn't get transportation and decided to why can't I book a car from my phone?
Yeah.
Why do I have to be stranded looking for whatever, So they came up with the idea and they set it up. And then boom, Airbnb also, there was a big convention in the conference, a design conference somewhere in California also, and all the hotels were booked. And these young people were like, the way people are here, they can't get rooms. Maybe we should just rent this room in our apartment, air beds.
Yeah.
That's why it's called Airbnb. It started with air mattresses. Air mattresses.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they just got air mattresses and put it out there and promoted it. That you want to rent an air mattress for like 1/5 of the hotel price.
Yeah.
And so people signed up for it and they came and slept in their rooms with air mattresses.
They solved the problem.
Like, oh, so what now? People, so then but from that, they started scaling it up. So you see a problem around you and you solve it. So there's hope. There's a lot of hope for the young people out there. Just look into an industry. Find out how they are operating. See where the gaps are. You can step in and fill that gap by providing a service, to solve that. problem, and you are in it. You're done.
Anthony, the CEO of Caveman, said something. Right now, I live by that mantra. He said, find a gap in the market and build a market in that gap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many gaps.
Theresa, you've done...
Analyze the industry and find that gap.
Yeah.
You find it because there are problems. Where you find... where you hear somebody say, it's good though, but the only challenge is... As soon as you hear challenge...
That's something you can solve.
That's opportunity. Challenge equals opportunity. And if there's anything I want to leave here with, that's it. Challenge equals opportunity. Whenever you see a challenge, see an opportunity to step in to solve it. That's it. And there's so many in our creative field.
There's so many challenges.
I'm sure all you need to do is just have one conversation with Richard.
You walk away with 30 problems to solve.
And in all these challenges, problems, solutions. In fact, when you hear, what comes to mind when I imagine the challenges.
What's that?
And the problem solutions. Those cartoons, when you see what Tom and Jerry cartoons, and then they see money, the dollar sign comes into their eye. Just the eyes, dollar.
Yeah.
So when I see challenges, I'm just seeing dollar signs. Or is it CD signs? So for me, challenges equals CD signs. When I see the challenge, I'm like, opportunity.
I think that's because of your entrepreneurial mindset.
Yeah. Because opportunities are endless.
Yeah.
So our sector is full of opportunities. And so it really hurts me when I see things like slowing down, grinding to a standstill. It's like there's no energy in the space, and you wonder that, okay, what's happening? What's happening? So we just need more business people to enter into the creative space.
You've done a lot in the industry over your period. What's that one thing you say you're the most proud of?
Okay. I would say what I'm most proud of is being able to build and sustain a creative enterprise and being able to empower creatives to thrive.
Nice.
I would say that's one thing I would say I'm most proud of, because I'm a person of impact. I believe in impacting my world, and whatever I do, my daily work, my daily actions should really make a change. And I think we've been able to achieve that in the sector we found ourselves. We've made a change in the creative sector. We are industry catalysts. We've shown the way of how to really create value out of your creative talent, your creative skills. And I think we've shown a lot of creatives how they can thrive as creatives.
Yeah.
We've provided employment for creatives. We've provided a safe space, a haven for creatives to come in, feel comfortable, work, and still make money as a creative. There's something that's painful as a creative who can't make money from their talent and has to go and work in another sector. That's the most painful thing.
They take the creative as a part-time thing.
That's the most painful thing. And it's also very painful when the creative can't find room for creative expression in a way that can make them thrive. I have people who have family members who were creatives, very creative people, but somehow because the environment they found themselves in didn't nurture that creative skill and talent, or didn't invest in them or support their growth in that space, they were forced to do other things. They never thrived in those other fields. They
They'll
never
always
thrived.
be mediocre.
They never thrived. In fact, I have people who would go to work and stop and sit at home and say, I won't go again. Not because they had any option, because they just could not fit. I mean, I get sad stories of parents who have given up on their children and feeling bad because they felt that they could have supported their creative journey and they didn't. And now they force the children to do something else. And now the children are not able to deliver. Oh, I have one woman who has 2 sons who are sitting at home.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, because they were creatives, and at the time they wanted to pursue their creative talents, the parents didn't support them. So they pushed them down their own path that they wanted. And the children went, studied and did everything, but came back and are at home. They're not practicing what they studied. And they feel that they're too old to start the creative journey. So they're sitting at home. Yeah.
Theresa, there's something I like to do here, right?
Yeah.
So my goal with this entire podcast is to help people build their minds and become masterminds. You know, I believe mindset is everything. That's the key to success. So I want you to imagine you had the power to stretch your hand through the camera into the person watching's brain. What mindset would you drop in there to change their lives?
What's coming to mind is impossible is nothing. Impossible. There's nothing that is impossible. And whatever it is that you set your mind to do, you can do it if you are prepared to put in the work. It doesn't happen by magic. But if you plan it, you think it, you dream it, you put in the work, you can do it.
Nice.
And for me, that is my mindset. It's a possibility mindset. Everything is possible. I don't believe, if you tell me something is impossible, you've challenged me.
That's when you will even do it more.
It can be possible. You know, it may not be exactly how you envisaged it, but you will get as close to it as possible. So everything is possible if you believe, if you put your mind to it, if you're focused, you want it bad enough. It is possible. And so, but first of all, what is your personal vision? For me, that's where it starts. What is your personal vision? What is it that you're looking for? What are you looking for?
Yeah.
What is it that you want?
Set a goal in front of you.
Yeah. What is it that you want? What are you looking for? What is your mission? What are you here to do? What do you want to do? How do you want the world to remember you? What is it that you want to achieve? What is it? And so when that question is answered, then you now work towards that.
Yeah.
But a lot of the time, that question is not clear to a lot of people.
Set the destination before the journey starts.
Before you walk towards it. So having that personal vision is very clear. I can tell you that a lot of the things I envisioned for myself innocently, just sitting down and just desiring what I desire, what I would want it to be. A lot of those images I painted in my head have come to pass.
Nice.
A lot of that, because I thought it, I dreamt it, I wanted it, and I worked towards it. It was like, it's there. I can see it.
Yeah, you can see it clear as day.
I want to get there, so I need to put in the work. So if anybody is saying something to me, I'm thinking about, how does this align towards getting there? How does this fit towards getting there? If I see it's not making sense, I will drop you. You know, everything, all my interactions must have a connection to how it will lead me
to
where I want to go. And that's how I'm able to make the choices I have to make. How will this get me there? How will this get me there? So that vision guides me. That's for me personally. So that personal vision has to be established. And that vision is carried out in various ways. What's the standard of life I want to live? What's the quality of life I want to live?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at all of that. So even if you're a man and you're approaching me, I'm looking at you and trying to calculate, how will this person get me there?
To my destination. Yeah.
How will this person be able to give me the kind of lifestyle I want to? And it doesn't mean that you must have money or anything. It's your mindset.
Yeah.
Does the person think like me? Does the person see where I'm going? Can we see the same future together? So those are the things, the same way if you're hiring somebody, this is where we want to get to. This person, what's the person's outlook?
Yeah.
What's the person's mindset? Can the person see the vision? Can they get what we need there? That's what will advise me whether I can hire you or not. So everything needs to make sense towards the vision that I want to achieve. So that's it.
Theresa, thank you so much. This has been so insightful. I hope as you're watching this right now, you have learned from this. You are ready to turn challenges into city signs, opportunities, and
Yes.
set your destination and then start working and
Towards
walking
that.
towards it.
Yeah.
I admire your journey. I admire your journey even more now that I've heard it in full, And
you.
I want to thank you for everyone watching and for the entire industry for what you've done. If people have not told you enough,
Thank
you, Charterhouse, what you've done for the creative industry is immense. And if we had even 2 more companies like Charterhouse, I can say this industry would be 10 times better. So we really, really appreciate you.
Thank you. I really appreciate the nice words. It's nice to feel appreciated. By waking up every day and coming to work and doing our work, doing what we love, it's nice to see that we've impacted and also inspiring people. And I must also commend you. You're also really doing a good job.
Thank you.
I see the various things that you do, trying your hands at different things, stretching yourself beyond.
It's not easy.
Yeah, I see that. I really see you, and I think it's also very commendable. I mean, we need people like you in the industry to keep pushing the industry and showing us hope. Like there's hope, there's possibilities, and the endless possibilities in the industry.
There's always hope. It's possible.
It is possible.
No more impossible. In fact, I am possible. I'm possible.
I'm possible. Impossible is nothing. Whatever you. I mean, look at this studio. I'm sure you dreamt it.
Yeah.
You imagined it, and then you put it into action. Yeah, and we are here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
It's real now.
If you had not imagined it, and you had not put in the work, you would not be here. So dreams do come to pass.
Yeah.
Like I said to you, I'm living my dreams. And any dream I live, any dream I have for the future, from now to the future,
you will live
I
it.
have to put in the work now to make it happen. So that's it. We have the power to shape our own lives. Can't wait for anybody.
We are the power behind the performance.
We are the power behind the performance. And of course, I mean, we can't do all of this without God's grace. It's not easy.
Yeah.
Every morning you wake up, you go on your knees,
you have to thank God.
And then you commit the rest of the unknown into his hands. But then you see, we go with faith.
Yeah.
We go with faith, knowing that he will make things work out for our good.
Once again, thank you so much. And this episode has been powered by Masterminds.
Thank you for having me. And tell me about this book. Yes, it's your fault.
Please, this book is all about personal responsibility.
Okay.
I have gone through different phases in life.
Of your life. Okay.
I've gone through phases in life where at points I blame the industry, I blame the government, it's my parents' fault, it's this person. Then I realized at a point, no, I'm here, it's my life. Anything I need to make happen is up to me.
Exactly.
Every win is my fault. Every loss is my fault. So if I'm the problem, then I'm also the solution.
Yeah.
And it's such a powerful place to start from because you realize you can do anything because you are the key factor in everything.
The Bible says that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Exactly.
So for me, that's one of my mantras. Like, when things look so doubting and challenging, I just say, I can do all things. I can do all things. I can do all things. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, you just step out in faith.
Yeah.
And do. The doing is the most important part.
Exactly.
And the most difficult part. You can think, you can dream, you can fantasize, but the doing. And
you have to take action.
And sometimes we all get caught in that trap of procrastination.
Yeah. Overanalyzing. Will it work? Am I doing it right?
Negative thinking. You've even defeated yourself before you started.
Yeah.
So we go through all of those. And that's where the mastermind, the mind mastery has to come in.
So that's what the book is about.
Yeah.
I'm basically trying to bring people's mind to the fact that they can take charge of their life, they can take action, and they will get there.
I always tell people that self-discovery is the most important thing,
Yeah.
Because I went through I grew up in a middle income family.
Okay.
My father was a bank director, etc. Pushy life. By the time I finished my A levels, things had changed at home. financially. My father got caught up in those political coups of the time. Assets got frozen, etc. So we found ourselves from a cushy life to nothing,
Wow.
basically. So it's like the rug was pulled from under my
your
feet.
feet, yeah.
And I find myself, I told you, I'd find myself at the age of 18 on my own, basically. And that's when I woke up. And I was like, whoa. So what happens from here? And I realized, I said, okay, there's no one, I can't rely on my family anymore because they're going through a crisis and there are younger children after me. At least they've given me an education.
You have a head start.
What can I do with it? So then I began to imagine, okay, so what do I want to do? What do I want to do? What do I want to do? What kind of life do I want to live? And I looked at how I had grown up and I said, this is the standard my parents have given me. I can't fall below this.
If anything, you need to rise
up, you know. So I immediately started building my non-negotiables, you know, my must-haves. And once I built that list of things in my mind of the kind of life I want to live, in fact, I told myself by the age of 30, I'll be self-employed.
Nice.
I told myself that by the age of 30.
So then it wasn't a surprise.
I was self-employed by the age of 27.
Yeah.
I even achieved it before I got to 30. But I told myself that this was at the age of 18, 19. I started giving myself goals.
Yeah.
That by the age of 30, I want to be self-employed. I want to be able to live the kind of life that I can travel. I can do this. I can do that. I just gave myself things I wanted to be able to do. Then once I had laid it all up there, I was like, okay, so how do I get there? What are the things I need to do? So I was very focused. So wherever I went to work and I found myself, I was just about the work. I come, I do my work. I'm so passionate about what I'm doing because I'm like, I'm not here to play. I'm on a journey. I'm on a journey. So every day I get up and say, "Mi bejuma, my bejuma, you won't catch me chatting, standing around, chatting, playing. I came to do the work. The work has to be done and done. Afterwards, if I want to laugh and smile with you, okay, let's play.
After the job is done.
But the work has to get done. So people didn't understand me because I didn't know that I was a girl on a mission. I was a girl on a mission. But my bosses saw. That's why any opportunity that came, they would come to me and say, Theresa, we want you to do this. Because they knew I'll approach it with that kind of
tenacity, that
precision, tenacity, you know. So I was the one always being asked to do this, break new ground, do this, do that, because I'll go at it like this. I'm a girl on a mission.
Girl on a mission.
On a mission,
I
seriously.
Love that. Theresa, thank you so much. It's been an entertaining conversation. Thanks for watching this episode. The fact that you stayed all the way through to the end tells me that you're not only curious, but you have the discipline to see what you do all the way through to the end. Now let's build a community of thinkers who are ready to become the best version of themselves. So subscribe to the channel and the mindset that you will develop and grow every day to become a true mastermind.